It hasn't been an easy victory, but victory has come nonetheless. Welcome back, everyone. We are, as always, Gaming by Gaslight, and as our characters apparently just kind of wander around, not entirely sure how they're getting back, we return to Kenshi, and you know what? It's been a couple of days since I last recorded, and I've been playing a couple of other games since, and apparently I've forgotten how to get my, there we go, F7. Okay, you know what? Just follow Dogmeat. Dogmeat seems to know where he's going. The rest of us do not. Or at least, I do not. But yeah, apparently, I've been playing a couple of other games, some on camera, some off camera in my spare time, that have various hotkeys, some of which are really similar to Kenshi's, but just ever so slightly different, and it's completely throwing me off. But don't worry. Muscle memory should save us eventually, probably, maybe. You know what? This is actually not working the way I would like. I'm just gonna have everyone move as a group over here. But yeah, when we last left off, we had effectively taken Bad Teeth. And I say effectively because what's happened was we captured the local Inquisitor. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with him yet. Hello. Toothpick of the tech hunters. Alright. I mean, tech hunters are our friends, so we'll try not to cause any trouble with him. Oh. I'd prefer if everyone stuck together. I think what we're going to try to do as we recover is we're just going to hang out at this holy farm. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Gaslight, isn't that kind of a dumb idea because all the holy farmers and their cow creature things will... Hello. I mean, if you want to fight us, then we'll fight you. Something else already had apparently damaged you. So, cool. Anyway. Oh, you know what? Let's, yeah, get everyone moving at a nice speed here. I don't want to take out the farm, but I would like to see if, at all possible, we can rest in these beds for a little bit. Though, to be honest, you know what? That's probably a terrible idea. What we should do instead is actually just make our way down to the hub. Because that'll give us a couple of... What in the nine hells are you people doing? You're all going in different directions. It's just frustrating sometimes, but, you know, that's life. Anyway, the idea is, I think... I know Reactive World does some stuff with the hub getting rebuilt, and I think I remember from reading the summary of that mod way, way back, which also reminds me I need to get around to putting together the mod list I'm using in the series. I'll try to remember to do that while rendering today's episode. But anyway, yeah. I think that taking Bad Teeth, or at least capturing that Inquisitor that we have, Tavos, I believe his name is. Okay, all set. Oh, we're actually a little wounded. Okay, Bren's still in a recovery coma. Bursilm's still in a recovery coma. Inquisitor Tavos is horrifically crippled. But not dead. Oh, okay, I don't actually really want to patch him up. Not completely, anyway. But yeah, I think just taking Tavos might have been enough. I might actually have to turn him in to actually start changing things. But then again, when we took out the Dust King, as soon as we captured him, I didn't really show it so much on camera, but by the time we were walking home, the other Dust factions had started showing up. So there's that, but gameplay talk aside, I guess the real thing that's sort of going on here is Ender's now got to decide what he's going to do with this Tavos guy. We could just leave him to die. Send him a bit of a message to the Holy Nation if we so chose. And there is a bit of a growing divide within the Black Legion. At the moment, Ruka, Rain, Kang, even Tora a little bit, and Hamut, they are in favor of Ender's whole no mercy, bloodlust kind of thing, because all of them have their own reasons to hate the Holy Nation, and or just, you know, they're warriors and they're like, hey, you know, this is war, this is what war looks like. Gotta remember I don't need to actually right click when adjusting the camera. But yeah, this is what war looks like, or in Hemut's case, he hates anyone who keeps slaves on account of his wife. And then there's Issa, who he's so far managed to get Hobbs, Parg, and Bursilm on his side. These three, I mean, technically, I guess they're the group assassins, but they're not violent offenders so much. They are a bit more in favor of the whole mercy thing that Issa's trying to convince Ender of. And the rest of the Legion is kind of in the middle at the moment. And this general sense of having to pick sides is clearly not good for morale. We'll have to see where that ends up going. Also, there is... oh, these are just hungry bandits. I was going to say, I would be far more worried if they were a Holy Nation patrol. Though, having said that, we should not, you know, underestimate these guys. Since we ourselves are in pretty rough shape still. Wow, we've got some big bounties on our heads, huh? I do wonder... holy crap. I kind of wonder if these will go away if we do manage to wipe out the Holy Nation, or if I'm just going to have to... mostly just for aesthetic purposes, I don't like seeing bounties on our heads. And I kind of wonder if there's a way to get rid of those. Oh, you know what? Let's, a relatively small group. We'll give them what for? Right, yeah, see, we are pretty, in pretty bad shape here if, a knock from even one of these guys could potentially, okay, cause us some issues here. We're patching this guy up now, aren't we? I'd rather if you didn't. I'm just gonna have Patty kind of run around. You run over there. I'd like you guys to patch up the rest of the group instead, if you don't mind. If there is anyone that actually needs patching up at this particular point. I think I'm just gonna have Ender carry dog meat for the moment. And I think Kang should get up on his own. But also, I guess the ever interesting thing we've got to consider here, narratively speaking, is... what is our next move? And I mean, Ender himself, while he is kind of in this whole thing of just butchering the Holy Nation... oh, yeah, Hobbs is also up. Come on, Hobbs. You know, his own morals... it's one of those things where in the heat of battle, he's able to convince himself that everything he's doing is fine. But in these quiet moments in between, he is reminded, and I mean, probably not least of which because we've got Issa constantly trying to enforce some higher moral standards, even in the middle of a war. And yeah. Ender is conflicted. Is what he's doing right? Is this something that perhaps... ooh, slave mongers. Is this something that he should try and change? I think, honestly, we would consider fighting them, but we're really not in a position to do so. We've got still more dust bandits. Actually, I'm kind of thinking to myself, we might be able to... well, they've got some beds. Actually, they've got a lot of beds, but then again, they've also got a lot of dust bandits. And seeing those dust bandits did also remind me that we probably... I'd really like it if you didn't walk straight into the camp, thank you. Anyway, we need to buy more bolts, so I think we'll stop at the rebel base on our way to the hub. We'll kind of see where we end up going there. This is also, in general, probably going to be a bit of a quieter episode. The calm before the next storm, as we figure out exactly where we're going. And there is a possibility, in a way, I guess, to kind of split the difference here. Ender wants vengeance for all the things he has suffered, and that others have suffered, but mostly himself, because, let's be honest here, vengeance is normally about, you know, one's individual vengeance, not, avenging others, because, you know, it's kind of a different thing, I guess. But revenge isn't exactly a noble pursuit, I guess, is the point I'm trying to get across here. Oh, good, Bren's up. Apparently drop him there, and he'll follow along, because I imagine... I forget who was carrying him, but whoever was carrying him is probably happier not having to carry him around on account of all that armor and everything. But, yeah. And also, it's good to stretch the legs. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, it's pretty much just stuff we already know at this point. Or stuff I'm not terribly excited about buying at this particular moment in time. Let's see here. Well, let's get rid of these swords. Is there anything else I'm carrying around? Any junk I don't really need? I guess. I'm gonna continue holding on to the armor, though. I've got some ideas of what we could do with that. Oh, Ruka doesn't have a, an offhand weapon. I'll have to remember to make one at some point. Or I could just, yeah, give this ninja blade. We'll leave that for now. Because even though dual wielding is... It's not something that functionally does anything, it is kind of cool to have nonetheless. And I think there's, like, an actual effect. Because I've read some different opinions on this. Apparently, if you have multiple weapons here, you'll switch to the one that is most effective for whatever it is you're trying to do at the time. Like, if you have a weapon that's better against animals, you'll automatically switch to using that. Or if you've got a weapon that's better suited for, you know, something else, then that something else will end up being what you use. But I've never really paid attention to how that works exactly. There we are. That's more or less good, I guess. Alright, and then into the... Ah, yeah, actually, look. The hub is now part of the Shek Kingdom, it would seem. So it seems that simply taking this one guy was enough to start the hub rebuilding process. And it's been a while since we've been to the hub, so as Ender and company make their way over... As they make their way over, though we can't see it ourselves yet, there is something different in the air. Or perhaps they first hear it from... Oh, derp, there's the hub right there. They see that there are Shek guards now, 100 guardians, patrolling the town. A handful for the moment. Oh good, our storm house is still ours. Heh, you look like Doom. I'm glad this is still ours and didn't get reset. Let's take a bit of a look around. What do we got here? I mean, the ninja guards are still there. Got Finian over here. And a Holy Street broken torch. We've got Iflem. So yeah, these are all people we could chat to. It looks like... Yeah. Because if I recall the lore correctly, and it also occurs to me, actually, this place looks more broken down than it was before, doesn't it? Yeah, because there was an actual fixed building in here. And it had a copy of, dang, I actually probably should, I had always meant to grab those books and lore that kind of talked about the hub. And they specifically mention as memory serves, that this place did used to belong to the Shek. Right, who's carrying Ursil? Let's put him in bed. But anyway, the point, I guess, of all this is that the Holy Nation is, or they had sacked the hub way back in the day. Wow, there's a lot of food just sitting in there. Yeah, way back in, oh, everyone's going to the Shinobi Tower. Yeah. Holy Nation, they sacked the hub back in the day, and now it seems that the Black Legion's efforts have encouraged the Shek to start coming back. Interesting. So they're directly profiting off of my labors, it would seem. What's also kind of funny here is that they are guarding a bunch of empty buildings. But let's go into this town hub thing. We'll talk to the barman, and we'll buy all of these bolts, which we will then eventually trade back to the appropriate people for it. And let's see here. Barfug. I believe there's someone somewhere in this town we can talk to discuss the state of the hub reconstruction process. This looks like just a well, not a guy, that's a girl actually. But let's have a chat. Not one of the locals. 6,000 cats. I'm not interested right now. What about you, Finian? You are Finian. You're like an onion, but thinner. Promising. I finally find myself an outsider. Can I help you? I'm an engineer, a good one. Well, at least you have the freedom to, I'll come back to you again. Well, let's see. Because I think as we take out the Holy Nation cities, that's what allows the hub to start getting rebuilt. We'll have to try and follow progress with that, if I can. It's interesting that this guard is apparently just guarding our house for us. We are welcomed comrades, it would seem. Oh, there's actually this building right here, which has been reclaimed. Which actually means, if I can find the person who is carrying... Oh, Patty. Alright. So Ender and Patty, and Dogmeat whenever he feels like joining us, we'll head on over here. I wish I could get rid of these trees, but that's a problem for another time, I suppose. Yeah, we've got our little friends here. I was actually about to say, is that a human working for the Shek? But no. No, they are not. But yeah, we'll head over here and let's turn Tavos over. Again, it is possible that we could choose to instead just, you know, straight up kill the guy and leave him to the wolves. Oh, it's still messy here. I wonder if I'm gonna have to do a re-import of things in order to really fancy stuff up. There's got to be someone with an actual name we can talk to around here. I hope, at any rate. But I would like to actually turn Tavos in. Painter. I mean, whoever we're looking for is probably here. It's just a matter of, do I really want to take the time to find them? And the answer is maybe. But also maybe not. I could just chuck Tavos in. Alright, well, I can't find right off the bat who it is I'm looking for. But we'll assume that there is someone we could talk to about these things, and maybe we just haven't spotted them yet. And I'm not gonna worry my pretty little head about it too much anyway. Wow, everyone's real excited about that all of a sudden. Alright. So, yeah. That is That's kind of where we're at by the looks of things. Any more beds we could sleep in? Because we do still committing crime. I didn't realize it was a crime, apparently, to let's have everyone in here. Hergel, you're not... Yeah, you can sleep. Definitely sleep. Rain the Giant, you better believe you can sleep. Where is Kang in all this? Oh, Kang's still on his way up. Core the Fearless is mostly okay. Ender, he could probably use the sleep if we can... get him there. Just a little bit further. And I think there's a open bed. Yes, there is. All right, Ender, you can have this bed right here. Sleep well, my heroic champions. Sleep well. We shall prepare for what's next. Yes. There will be some discussion between members of the Legion here, figuring out what it is we should be doing. Again, Ender likes to believe he's still the good guy. He's still the hero here. But heroes don't mercilessly slaughter their enemies. At least not in any of the fairy tale stories that Ender would have grown up with. Which, incidentally enough, I guess, well, his parents would have told him stories, but his memory of them is quite distant and kind of vague. Issa, of course, would have told plenty of stories to Ender to help him survive those early years as a child in Rebirth. And thinking of Rebirth, Ender recalls a long, and at this point in his pursuit of vengeance, almost forgotten promise that he was going to do something. That one day when he had the power, he would end the suffering of the other slaves he left behind back there in that place. Perhaps the time has come to finally return to Rebirth.